Hello guys, and welcome back to yet another video. And today we are going to I'm going to tell you the parts to build a $500 computer. I've done one on the $800 one, which I need to do an update on. It has now gone down to $700 if you look at the PC build on it. So yeah, the game in the background is American Trucking Simulator. It's a decent game, about $20. I can't drive, as you can tell. But yeah, it's a decent game for 20 bucks, like I said. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. The processor is going to be a AMD FX-6 core, a EVGA, I believe. Yeah. They're nice low end. Like if you want a high end processor that's decent but cheap, I would say it's this one. It's a 4.1 gigahertz turbo, so don't worry about that. And yeah, it's decent. It has good variety. I've heard that AMD has been used. I'm on the website right now. It's a maximum. You can overclock it. It also has great performance when, how do you say, like video editing and actually 3D modeling in the games. So that's always good. Okay, we're moving on to a Gigabyte motherboard, which I have always liked personally. Gigabyte to me is a decent company for computers. This actually is patented. Can't pronounce the word. With a dual BIOS, which basically, let's say somehow it gets messed up, like you're launching the BIOS and all of a sudden power goes out, and all of a sudden for some reason the BIOS is gone, or if you're updating it and the power goes out and it's gone, you know, for like forever. Well, fear not. Gigabyte's dual BIOS allows basically a backup BIOS to restore the main one, and like it basically allows you to launch off the backup one and reload up the main one, like basically apply the main one to the thing. Like, I know what I'm talking about, trust me. And basically you have a protection on there, so don't worry about that. It also has eSATA on the back on the actual motherboard. They also, this is one of their high durable motherboards as well, which there's to where basically it has new glass fabric to cover more areas of the motherboard, so there is no short circuit or anything like that. They also have a new heatsink design, which keeps your motherboard and CPU cool. It also has the on-off technology, which I'm reading straight off the website now. So, quote, Gigabyte on-off charge technology allows you to charge your iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch and other devices, regardless of whether your PC is on in standby mode or even off, end quote. So, basically, amazingly, your PC can charge your phone without it having to be on, but you have to plug into certain USBs on the actual hard drive, so you can't just plug it into your main computer case, unfortunately, which that cannot happen. So sorry about that, but hey, at least it works. Okay, for the memory or the RAM, we're going with the G.Skill Sniper Series 8 GB, which is going to have two 4GB sticks. Because the reason why two 4GB sticks is because if you separate them from different sticks, they tend to work better. So you have DDR3 2113. So I have always liked G.Skill and their stuff, and they're decent. I mean, for what they are, they're actually pretty good. So that's really all I have. We are gonna do a basic Western Digital Caviar Blue 1 terabyte. Of course, you can remember you can edit this part list yourself on PC Part Picker, which is where I'm gonna have this. You can always change it, and it's a basic 1 terabyte, 3.5 inch, 720 RPM. So it's a decent, good hard drive. You can find this on Newegg for about $50, or some other place, I'm sure, for even less. But if you want to lessen the cost, there's Seagate, or Hitachi, I heard, is also good. Okay, now we got to my favorite part of the list, and I think this is everybody's favorite part, which is the video card. We're going with a rather decent but cheap one. You can buy multiple of these. Remember, you can always upgrade if you want, but this is just our base level for right now. We're going with an Asus Radeon R7 360 DirectX 12, something like that. It is ready for Crossfire support. That's if your motherboard supplies it as well. And I, as of right now, have an Asus laptop, and this thing can run pretty good. I mean, it can run very, very high-end games at low settings, or low specs. And yeah. Anyway, it has dual fan cooling. They also had like a GPU tweak with XSplit Gamecaster. I believe they provide it for you when you get the this video card. You can get quality that rivals 4K, even on a 1080p display. So I mean, you get some good stuff. So it also has AMD like technology in it, and I've heard AMD's video cards are really good. So I mean, you're getting like almost a high-end card for only about $100. So I mean, or a little more. So I mean, that's a pretty good deal. Now we're moving on to the case, which is a Thermaltake case. A picture of it will be on the screen, don't worry, like all the others. The airflow is great, at least decent anyway. I just don't like where the window and the fan on the side is placed, because if anything, they need to be switched, because where the window is, that's where the CPU is, and where the bottom of it is, or where the fan is like right below the CPU, and I would like the fan to actually be placed on the CPU, or like right on it, like, so you can have air blowing directly on it. But that's just my opinion. You have one fan that takes in air on the very front of it. You then can have two 120 fans on the very top. So they do give you one blue LED fan. Either that, no, I think they actually give you two for both the front and the very back. And I like where the back fan is positioned, because it's at the top. Because, as people say, heat rises. So I do very much like that. You then have a fan on the bottom. No, I know what you're thinking. No, that's the power supply. No, they have another fan on the very bottom for you to add. Remember, these are all optional, but I at least recommend 2, which is the one on the front and the one in the very back. But the on the very back is that's one of those things you have to have. But these are blue LED fans, and you can find fans for cheap for about $5, really. I mean, and those are good fans. So, okay, we're going with the EVGA 430 watt power supply, 80 plus certified. This is a non-modular power supply. If you want to spend a little extra money to do that, though, you can. Remember, you can always change it yourself. But they also, this also with the 430 watts allows you to upgrade in the future if you want, because this computer only requires 300. So that's all I have on the power supply. Okay, we're going with an LG DVD/CD writer. It's pretty cheap, only about $15. Remember, you do not have to include this. So, LG is a good brand, so I recommend them a lot. So yeah. And now, the last but very least, we have the Microsoft Windows 10 Home operating system, 64-bit. Of course, like almost every other operating system out there, it is around $100, $83.89 from Outlet PC to be exact. So, if you remember, you can always change to Windows 7, Windows 8, or just keep it at Windows 10. But I would recommend the 64-bit since you are going with 8 gigs. Because the 32-bit will only read 4 in most games. Now, especially the high-end ones require 8, or definitely more than 4. Alright, before I just want to say one thing. Remember, computer parts fluctuate, so it could be a little over the 500 mark or a little under. I just want to point that out because things can change. But for the most part, it should stay around the 500 limit. So, I did want to say that before I go. So, that's all I really wanted to say. Plus, remember, you can always edit these parts. If you want a bigger hard drive or a smaller one, go ahead. Or get a cheaper part or so. Whatever. But anyway, goodbye!